The Orlando real estate market has been a fast-paced, changing market for the past few years, like most places in the US. Recently, I've noticed different articles that contradict each other. Some will say that the real estate market is super hot, and some say that we're headed for a crash or a major slowdown. So which is it? Is the Orlando real estate market hot or cold? This is the February 2023 Orlando real estate market update. Let's look at some stats. So you'll see me looking down. It's just I'm looking at my screen. And then just so you know, this stat is coming from Stellar MLS. So that means that basically it's all of Central Florida. So that includes, of course, Orlando, but Tampa, Daytona, all that. So it's kind of a bigger area. And then we'll kind of go down just to Orlando. So average days on market, or ADOM, was 45, and that was up a little bit from December, which was 41. And then the average sales price was $430,279, and not much of a change from December, $428,496. And then months of inventory went up to 4. It was 3 in December. Now, these stats are specific for Orlando and the Metro Orlando area. So what I like to look at on this one is the median price. So in January of 2023, it was $350. And then last year in January 2022, it was $335. So a 4.5% change. And then from last month to December of 2022, there's just about a 1% change. The average days on market in January of this year was 57. Last year in January was 32. And then in December of 22, it was 49. So the average days on market has gone up a bit. And the month supply of inventory was 3.65 in January of 2023. In December of 2022, it was 2.85 was the months of inventory, which was a 28% change. This is a state of the market report. And what the Orlando Regional Realtor Association president said was with significant year-over-year changes, January's data is a strong indicator that Orlando's housing market is continuing to balance out. Orlando's housing market remains in correction mode as sales have been steadily slowing down over the past 12 months. The great news for buyers is that they have significantly more options compared to last year. For sellers, home values remain stable. I think this is a pretty good summary of what's going on. I mean, it might be kind of wrapped up in a bow a little bit to make it look a little pretty and not like freak people out of like, hey, the prices are going down a little bit, are we going to have a crash? This is more fitting the narrative of what a lot of professionals think is we're basically in a correction. And I believe that as well, outside of a few different factors, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then lower down in the report, it says 14 distressed homes, bank-owned properties, and short sales accounted for 0.8% of all home sales in January. That represents a 7.6% decrease from December, when 17 distressed homes were sold. I think that's good news. I mean, you never want to see anyone lose their home, but it's not a whole bunch of people right now. And I know that was one of the concerns, is that there was going to be a lot of foreclosures, and that was going to add on to a real estate crash. And this chart just shows the month supply of inventory for the past 2 years. And you can see that obviously in January 2021, it was really low, barely 1%. And it got even lower as the year went on in 2021 and 2022 as well. And then we can see here is once about August hit, then September, we saw the months of inventory going up and up. And that probably has to do with the changing of the interest rates and how high the interest rates got for mortgages. Here's a chart that shows us the average and median price. And what I want to look at right now is if we start looking at September 2022 and going to January 2023, it looks like we're starting to kind of even out a little bit. We're going a little bit low in January, but nothing, that is concerning me right now. And here is the average mortgage paid by buyers in Central Florida. And yeah, we can see here in July, August, we were like 5%, and then boom, we start to go up 6%, almost 7% in October. and now we're going down a little bit into the lower sixes currently. As we can see from the data, the market has definitely slowed down. But to put it in perspective, the market in 2020 and up to last year was growing fast, and really it's something we've never seen before, and hopefully we won't see that kind of market again with buyers waiving inspections and appraisals. With homes staying on the market more, the median home price going down a little, and more inventory, is the market cold and more favorable for buyers? Not necessarily, and here's why. It's almost like the Orlando real estate market has a parallel universe situation going on, kind of like a Marvel movie or something. On the one hand, we're seeing some homes stay on the market for a while, offering price reductions and closing costs and all that kind of stuff. And then on the other hand, some homes are still selling within the first week of being on the market and getting multiple offers. So why are we seeing that? What's going on? My theory is that some sellers are still trying to get every penny they can from selling their homes. I completely get it, but what's happening is some homes are being overpriced. With the interest rates where they are currently, buyers are being more mindful about how much they spend on a home. So some homes are sitting on the market for a while, and on the opposite end, we have homes that are coming on the market that are priced appropriately and selling quickly. Now, I will mention that even though some homes are selling in a weekend with multiple offers, it's nothing like we saw the past 2 years. We're starting to have a housing market similar to what it was before the pandemic. What do you think? Is the market hot or cold? Let us know in the comments. If you're enjoying the videos so far, a like and comment really helps me out. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, thanks for the support. If we haven't met yet, I'm Dan Knader, a real estate agent in Orlando, Florida. If you have any real estate questions or need an agent, my contact information is in the description below. Also in the description is a link for my preferred properties for sale in Orlando. Usually toward the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third quarter is when we see the most real estate activity. So are we going to have a busy spring, summer season here in Orlando? Now that's something I'm really not sure about. I think it's going to depend on a couple of key factors: the interest rate and the general health of the economy. I think there are still people who are looking to buy and sell real estate, but it has to be in the right market conditions. Recently, we've been seeing mortgage interest rates decreasing. However, the Fed raised the interest rates earlier this month and has indicated that they don't plan on lowering interest rates this year. If that's the case, I would imagine that the mortgage rates would have to fall in line. Although it'll probably fluctuate throughout the year, I don't think we'll have as big of a change as last year. So ultimately, it comes down to the consumer. With the median home price not decreasing significantly and mortgage rates not dropping significantly, will buyers still buy? We'll have to just wait and see. As far as the Orlando real estate market being hot or cold, it's probably closer to lukewarm or maybe even room temperature. I think we're going to have to see what the next few months bring. I will say that if you're thinking of buying now, I think the best buying strategy is targeting homes that have been on the market for a while. These listings are typically more willing to negotiate than a listing that's only been on the market for less than a week. The last few houses I sold were all homes that had been on the market for longer than a week. We were able to offer less than asking, and in some cases got closing costs. So I think that's the strategy to use right now to potentially save some money and not get into bidding wars. Check out this video for my real estate predictions for this year, or this playlist with other market updates. Reach out to me if you have any questions or need an agent. My contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching.